Okay. Now we are going. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Feet on the Street.
Yay!
Neighbor to neighbor, moment to moment, and person to person.
Woo!
Live here at 1232 Commerce in
Right here.
historic downtown Longview. Hosted by Lynn's Ice Cream, Yogurt, and more. A great place to eat, enjoy, and have some great company. Thank you, Lynn, for all you do.
Go Blazers!
Joined tonight by Adam Pitham, who is an awesome person. I've had the privilege of working with him on stage, and we're going to get back to him, but you got to bear with me because I said I wasn't going to do something, but I'm going to because my co-host is back.
Are you serious?
I would never do anything bad for you.
Yeah, you would. Here we go.
Where were you last week? Why did you leave me here all alone? We searched the world over and we couldn't find you. You met another and
Poop, you were down.
Okay. There.
I was busy.
Anyway,
I was busy.
Thank you all for joining us last week. Captain Jack, if you're out there, if your ship sails this way again, we'll be glad to have you. Now, Adam here, though. Huh?
Now.
Well, not right now, because right now we've got Adam. And Adam is the star and master of many things.
Yeah.
Both on stage, behind stage, in the community, too.
Sometimes.
Most of the
Do
time.
some things, yeah.
I hear good things.
Oh, good. I appreciate
I listen to rumors.
Thanks.
Ray's got his ear on the street, baby. There's a reason it's called Feet on the Street. It's actually his ear. He knows what's going on.
Yeah, right.
Interested to hear what some of those rumors are.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about them on the air.
All right, good.
Anyway, you're involved in some current projects, but before we
Yeah.
get to the projects, would you care to describe your life adventures leading you to where you are today that brought you here?
Where I am today, well, currently I'm working for the therapeutic courts here in Cowlitz County. And for people who don't know what therapeutic courts are, those are a superior court. We're a superior court agency, and we work with clients who are facing charges, drug-related charges, criminal, that are referred to our program. They're interested in the program. It's completely optional, and they can opt in the program. We help them to set up treatment. They come to court on a regular basis. They see the judge, and we just kind of help them pull things together. They do it themselves. I work with some amazing people. And that's kind of the gist of what we do, but we can talk more about that later if you want.
Elaborate as you want, but also you have family and everything.
I do.
Where do we start with
So
you?
that's where I am. We'll give a
Okay.
little preview of where I am, and I guess I grew up here in this community. Mom and Dad still live here. All my brothers live here, and so got a big family here in the community.
Nice.
My wife grew up in Castle Rock. Her family is around here, so it's great. This is our home. This is where we've spent our life, except for college. We've been here in this community, and so we love living here. Yeah, I'm married. I have 2 kids. Owen is hi Owen.
Hi, Owen.
He's 10, going on 11, and then Elliot. Hi Elliot.
Hi, Elliot.
He is just turned 9, and so that keeps me real busy right there with the 2 kids. And
So I'm the youngest of 4 boys. To the 2 boys,
I'm the
got
youngest
that.
of 4 boys.
It's amazing.
Amazing.
To the 2. Gosh, my mind works wonders. So do they do the brother bickering?
Oh
fun
yeah.
Stuff.
Oh yeah.
Does the other one take the other one down?
That can happen. They're
That can
pretty
happen.
good together.
That's
It's
good.
amazing how things change because my brothers and I, we played hand in hand.
Yeah.
Doing whatever we were doing, playing action figures or sports or whatever. They do that too, but then there's this whole new dynamic on it that wasn't there when I was a kid. We had video games, but we did not have what
Pong.
they have now. Yeah, Pong, Super Mario Brothers, things like that. But it was all single player, or they had to be sitting with you. Right?
Yeah.
We'll have one kid in one room playing a video game, and another kid in another room in the same world playing that game. So they're online playing together,
Oh,
and
that's
it's
cool.
just. It's amazing to hear their interactions, and they yell back and forth. They're so it's a different world than we grew up in with the internet and the video
Right.
games
Oh,
and the way they
absolutely.
are today. So it's fun, but yeah, I mean, there's a different kind of bickering. But definitely,
Well, I mean,
the roughhousing.
I didn't mean to bring up the bad stuff, but I'm just saying, I remember. I mean, I got hogtied, so if I moved, I choked, and then they tickle me. It was a lot of
Do you have the
fun.
same older brother as I do?
I
That must have been standard.
think it was standard.
I haven't seen
I
that.
wait till
happen yet.
mom.
Yeah,
Wait till
yeah.
mom gets home.
I've been tied up and shoved down the stairs
Nice,
in a sleeping bag. I've been,
Maybe we need to have National Brotherhood Week.
Oh, yeah,
where
that
we
would
all
be
bring in
interesting.
our stories in. We could have a Sisterhood Week too.
That might be a cool show.
I have some
It
stories.
actually could be.
I do too, unfortunately.
Been tied to a post with darts thrown at me, shot at with a BB gun. You know,
Oh,
BB
yeah,
gun
yeah.
is just-
Oh, yeah, BB
it's fun
guns.
stuff.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. Yeah, I was we have a cabin at Lake Mayfield, and we were out
Oh, I
in the
love
forest, and we were out in the woods,
Uh-huh.
my brother and I, and we were in a clearing
Uh-huh.
in the woods, and he had a BB gun. We were just like shooting stuff. He points it at me and says, "Run." So I ran,
So you ran, sure.
and BBs come flying at me when
Yeah.
it hits me in the leg. I'm like, yeah,
Yeah,
it was
that
interesting
sounds
times.
very
Now it'd be
familiar.
like assault, and you'd be
You'd be in jail.
but
Well, you couldn't
but
even
then it
carry,
was
you
just
couldn't even carry the
brothers.
BB
Oh, yeah,
gun, so it was like
probably
a 45.
yeah.
At least ours did.
I think this was a shotgun-looking one, but
Still.
yeah, something like
If you
that.
point at law enforcement, you're getting shot.
I wouldn't do that.
No, I wouldn't either.
Who would do that? That's crazy.
That's-
You're asking.
Well, people do it. You know that as well as I do.
I mean, I can't account for other people's choices, but
No,
I
thank
would say
God.
that would be in the bad scale. of
That is
choices.
that skill.
But yeah, I mean, so I have sibling stories. If there's a Brother's Day that comes up, you can ask me about
We
it.
might make
I
one
can
up.
talk about some.
We might.
They think there's a siblings day. I think there's a
Is
national
there?
siblings day.
It would be a riot.
I mean,
It'd be
Google
hilarious.
would tell us real quick, but yeah, I think it would be.
Google. There we go.
Yeah.
You got a question? Ask Google.
Oh, Google, yeah.
Don't look it up in the dictionary
No,
or the encyclopedias, you know.
you have it at your fingertips.
the card systems at the library.
Yeah.
Yeah. None.
I don't know. There was something fun about going to the library and researching. But
Yeah,
I agree with you on that.
I do too.
Now let's just pull it up online
Yeah. As we're on.
as we're online. Yeah. What are you doing? Go to the library. Why are you watching this?
No. Absolutely
after
not.
the
Stop.
library.
Stop.
Go to the library.
After this.
Yeah.
Yeah, after this, you can go to the library. They're open until 8, and we're day will be done by then.
No, but I certainly remember the days where if you thought of something you wanted to look into more, you wanted to be able to write it down, and then you actually had to go somewhere or go to the encyclopedias. We had them all.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Pull them out and look it up, and yeah, it's pretty remarkable where we are today with
Technology is.
Yeah.
It's almost too much for me.
Yeah, it's a
I'm
lot.
not a computer illiterate, but I am on the next page.
Okay.
Yeah. Hey, I'm honest.
Hey, it's better to be on that page than on the
Ray's thinking way too hard.
Well, no, it just, I mean, hey, at our age, okay, because he's a young man here.
I know, yeah.
It's like, remember the big thing was a peachy with the multiplication table.
Right, so you can cheat.
Yeah.
And then you cut it out and put it on
Texas
your wrist.
Instruments, calculators.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm not
That-
that
they were
young.
real
We had all
small.
those. Yeah.
Yeah.
We had all those too. I was right there in that era.
You came later.
Maybe,
I know you're not.
maybe
our
a
age.
little bit, not quite, but I do remember the peachy, the multiplication table.
You always had to color in the peachy
Yep, and then collect signatures.
and collect signatures.
Yep, it was your first yearbook.
Yeah, it was. It was your first yearbook.
I just remember the funny thing about school is math.
Yeah.
I wasn't too keen on math. I could
No.
do it, but it wasn't my favorite.
Yeah,
And
me
we'd always have somebody ask, "Why do we need to learn this?" You know, I can just do it on my calculator, and the teacher would say, "Well, you're not always going to have a calculator with you," and that not true. I think most people have a calculator in their pocket.
Absolutely.
So,
Calculator, a camera, video.
anything you want.
As I was
Or a
walking
computer
here,
in
there
your
was
pocket.
an accident down 12th and Broadway, and I was watching the crowd,
Yeah.
and a lot of cameras were up.
Yep.
And
Everyone's
I'm
filming
thinking,
it.
you're filming an accident.
Mhm.
Wow.
Everything's on film.
My
Be
life is
careful.
an accident.
Well, film it. Film it.
They might
I am.
capture the
Every
magic-
okay,
Tuesday.
great. Yeah.
What's that?
They might capture the magic moment that CNN or some national
Yeah.
company will
Goodbye.
pick up.
Yeah.
Then they get their 15 seconds of fame.
This live footage from Longview, Washington. Head rolls across the street.
Oh,
Wow, he's talking to Kev. Wow.
Well, I mean, that's what people
Oh, I know.
do. It's like, I hear gunshots. I'm going to get closer and see if I get a picture.
No, okay, let's think about that. You hear gunshots. First of all, you're already close if you hear it, and then you're going to run towards it
Exactly.
without a vest and a gun on? No. That's not going to happen.
You've got
for
your
me.
camera.
yeah, as long as you have your camera. What's your life if you make national news, right?
No comment. I'm not gonna even comment on that one, not even.
Darn.
I was hoping for something.
Yeah, well, it might come out later.
In your current thing, what you're doing
Yeah.
with the program, what's success stories? What's obstacles? What's opportunities?
Well, you're working in the legal system. There's always those. You're working with people that are struggling with addiction. And any time that you have addiction, it's not black and white. It's not people, there's getting someone to a point where they are managing that addiction, because addiction is not just you can't just be cured from it. It's something you have to imagine the rest of your life. I liken it to something like diabetes.
Oh,
You
absolutely.
can manage that, you can live a healthy life with diabetes, but you have to have the proper medication, the proper routine, the exercise, everything that goes with it to manage a healthy
Do
lifestyle.
you agree that it's a disease?
Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
It's a disease. I
Absolutely.
mean, many things can lead you to that, and people have argued that, well, it's a choice to start doing drugs, so it can't be a disease. Well, you can also get diabetes by making poor choices in life,
Right.
and holding somebody accountable today for choices that they made in their past. Yeah, there's that accountability, but we're where we're at. So if somebody is struggling with addiction, standing there and saying, well, you made the choice, doesn't do anything to help.
Well, no, that's kind of a negative, I would think.
It is, but you're working with people, and as much as somebody might want the recovery, it still can be very difficult for
Oh,
them.
absolutely.
So what I have seen is, I've seen people come into their program, they've struggled, and then something happens and you see that change. And our Judge Gary Basher,
Oh, I like Gary.
yeah, he's a great guy.
Yeah. Hi, Gary. Hi, Gary.
He,
He's been here before.
Yeah,
I'll send him a link if you
yeah,
have
there
it.
you go.
He's kind of noted, and he'll say in our graduations and such, that change isn't a process, it's a moment. And a lot of people do think of change as a process,
It is.
but there's that moment that the change happens.
Kind of in the light bulb. kind of-
Yeah, so it's kind of like the light bulb switch, but I like his analogy of change as a moment, because it's that moment, yes, you have to continue to do things to maintain that change, but when that switch hits and you make that change, so it's almost like an emotional and a conscious change.
Sure.
I've seen that in people. I've seen that in people that are struggling, and we get people in the program who struggle, and we have to discuss: are we going to look at termination? Are we going to look at continuing to work with them? And I always try to err on the side of working with somebody,
Sure.
because there might be that time. I've seen people that were at the cusp of being terminated. We've given them another chance, and it's stuck. And they've gone
Nice.
on not just to graduate, become amazing members of society. I mean, I can name names, but I'm not going
No,
to.
no.
Because I don't know if they would appreciate
Yeah,
that.
We don't do
But they're
that.
doing fantastic. They're
Uh-huh.
working in the recovery community. They're working with treatment centers. I've had people that have graduated our program that have gone on to get a degree in chemical dependency, are working with local treatment centers, and are actually on our drug court team. And that's
Wow.
happened more than once. So they've
Wow.
gone from being a client of mine in our program to actually being on the team with the treatment agencies that we work with. And I love it. It's amazing to see that.
So you must get the certification, seeing where they walked in the door, and when they graduated, and when they continue.
Yes,
I mean, that
Exactly.
just has to be an amazing feeling,
it is.
knowing
And-
that you help them.
And not everybody makes it,
Right.
but for those that do, it's well worth it. And it's sad to see somebody not make it, but
Sure.
I've also had people that have been terminated from our program that I know now are doing amazing also. So you don't need our program to be in recovery, but if you've been in our program and you get terminated, or if you choose to opt out, you still gain tools from it. You've still
Sure.
gained some direction from our program. And the research shows that too, that even people that don't graduate are still less likely to end up back in the criminal justice system or recidivate than those who never did the program to
Kind of
begin
like a
with.
revolving door. with
Yeah. So that's exactly what we're doing, is we're trying to prevent that revolving door. And so we take people that have been in the criminal justice system, or people that are just starting to get into it, and try to intervene there and say, instead of jail or
Nip it in the
prison,
bud.
instead of jail or prison, we're going to have you do treatment.
Mhm.
We're going to have you come check in at court. You're going to have a case manager. You're going to have treatment. If you need mental health services, we'll help you out getting into that. So any services
Oh,
that
that's
you need,
amazing. That's
we
awesome.
we help them find that. They have counselors at treatment to work with, And we really, well, I was going to say encourage. We require them to get involved in some kind of 12-step program, in a something else that builds that support group.
Right.
And I often tell our clients, if you don't build that support group, your likelihood of succeeding in your recovery beyond this program isn't as strong as other people's.
Right.
It's the people that really got involved in their support groups, their recovery community, that we see kind of a more of a long-term recovery.
Nice.
So I would really push anybody who's looking for recovery, get involved in a 12-step program, get involved with a support group, and that's what's really going to help you. I've known of people that have gotten into recovery by getting involved with sober support group versus going to treatment.
Okay.
And so that can happen. Treatment is something you do in the moment
Right.
to help you get tools in your recovery, but your lifetime recovery is involved really in that sober support group that you look at.
These people that you work with, they in a way become extended family to you. do they not?
Absolutely, yeah, we get to know them really well. And you know, it depends on them and how much they come in and interact with us. They really interact with their treatment providers a lot
Sure.
more than us. You know, we manage the court side of it, so we keep track of the docket. If they're in trouble, we have to follow up with that, make sure they're doing what their sanction required. If they stop showing up for services, we issue the warrant. So it depends on how much they want to come in and interact with us, but we have some people that stop by all the time. We have graduates that come in and talk to us, and that's a really great to see them come
That's
in.
awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome, because it's really needed. I mean,
Yeah.
but I totally agree with the support, because you can't do it on yourself. I mean.
No, you really
I-
do need it.
Yeah, I dealt with family that
Mhm.
have gone through treatment and stuff, and I learned stuff just
Mhm.
being the family and going to some of them,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
It impacts, drug abuse impacts everybody in this community. Whether you've struggled with it yourself or you've had a family, you know, we've gone and done presentations, or not presentations, but discussions at various places, Eagles or something like that. And Judge Basher has asked who here, you know, knows somebody or they themselves have struggled with it, and almost everybody will raise their hand.
Oh,
You know,
wow.
because it's en route, you know, we all know somebody,
Sure.
even if it's a friend's child or, you
Yeah.
know, a several step removed relative, or it could be your own kids or your own family or yourself that's in
Yeah.
recovery or struggling. It really impacts everyone in the community to some degree.
Yeah, it does.
And so when we talk about that revolving door, one of the big benefits of interrupting somebody from going in that revolving door and continuing to go in and out of jail and prison is that impacts their family too.
Oh, absolutely.
So we're not just impacting individuals, we're impacting their family. You know, you can't really measure that. If we help somebody find recovery and they're in that recovery for their life, that's not impacting their children, their significant others, their friends. It has a ripple, I mean negatively, it has a positive rippling effect.
Do you have programs for the families? Or?
We do. We have more than just the drug court program, and that is our biggest program.
Well, right.
We have let's say around 130 that are in the drug court program right now. But we have 3 other programs on top of that are so. There's drug courts. There's also a broader term, which is therapeutic courts.
Right.
So I oversee all of the therapeutic courts. We also have a juvenile drug court, so
Oh, wow.
for juveniles, and we have a family dependency court. So this is parents who have had their children taken away by the state due to substance
Their
abuse
abuse.
or related substance
Right.
abuse. Yeah. So they go through the program very similar to drug court. There's some differences because we're working with the department there, and they're working with a dependency. So they're there. We work with them, you know, and their case and CPS, parenting classes, and different things like that
Wow.
to help get them to
I
a dismissal.
had no idea. That's awesome.
And then we're working on a mental health court.
Oh, nice.
So it's like the drug court, but kind of a step up. It's for people whose crimes are more related to their mental health issues.
Sure.
With the drugs as more of a secondary.
Right.
So it's a co-occurring disorder, and so we'll be working with clients on that.
Do you find that some of the people, I mean, it's just not one drug, is there a difference between someone that's heroin and meth and that use, or one that just does one? I mean, do you understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, it's a hard number to call. In
Well-
doing intakes with people, I would say maybe 30% report that they use multiple drugs.
Okay.
It's the growing trend. It used to be the growing trend was methamphetamines.
Right.
The growing trend is now going over to opiates. So we're seeing
Really?
an increase in opiate use in our community.
Yeah, I've heard of that.
And that's just across the board. They're seeing an increase in opiate use.
Wow.
Just a side question,
Uh-huh.
but with the legalization of marijuana, are you seeing an impact in numbers and effects? Or is it kind of a flat line?
Well, where I'm at, it's hard to say that because we're not seeing people come into the program with marijuana-related crimes anymore. But a lot of people do marijuana, it being legal in our state. We don't allow it in our program. We don't allow marijuana or alcohol.
I'm guessing you're drug testing.
Yeah, we do drug
Yeah.
testing. There's we do it randomly with a color call.
Right.
But it's not just illegal substances. Recovery is all encompassing, everything. Anything that is mind altering for an addict, that's what they will go to. So there's other things out there like kratom and spice and other things that aren't necessarily illegal, but they do alter your mind and your body. We don't allow those either, and we try to test for those. And
I seen kind of a pickup on that kratom that you were talking
Uh-huh.
about. I mean, I know some people that use it.
yeah.
And, I mean, I don't know anything about it. I'm cool with that. But it just seems that, I don't know, more people are just saying, yeah, it's legal, I'm using this, but it's still mind altering.
Yeah. And I mean,
Good thing for me to stay away from.
yeah, I would recommend staying away from it because it can be addictive. I mean, anything that's mind altering, I think, can become addictive.
Right.
So we don't allow it. I mean, I'm not making judgment on anybody who
Oh, no,
chooses
no,
to do it, and I
no.
can't say that I've seen anybody come into drug court because of use of one of those legal substances
Right.
that are out there. But if you're in our program, you can't use it while you're in our program. Same, just like marijuana or alcohol.
What about linkage between the court system, the program you do, and the education process in the schools for prevention? Is there such a linkage, or?
They're out there, but they're not my forte. They're not something that I
Okay.
work in. I know in juvenile there are links with the juvenile superior court department and the schools, that the people involved with that have communication there. As for what's going on when they go into the schools or if there's any kind of further education with that, I'm not really aware of it. So not really something I do. I'm sure it's out there. But
So how big staff do you guys got?
I should know that number quicker than that. It is
Well,
1,
no.
2, 3, 4, 5. Got 5 employees under me.
Nice.
We're growing, so I have 2 case aides for the adult drug court. Edward and Angie, they do an awesome job with our clients.
Good job, guys.
Good job, guys. They're amazing. They really have helped grow the program. So they're my case aides for that program, and then Cassie. Hi, Cassie.
Cassie, what's up?
She does our juvenile and our family dependency court.
Oh,
So
nice.
those are smaller courts, so she's
Uh-huh.
able to manage both of those courts. She does a great job. Very creative, and lots of great ideas come from her. And then we just hired Chris. He's our mental health court case aide. So we haven't quite started court yet. We're very far along in the planning process, working on policies and procedures, working on the phase system, getting the people together that will be at the table helping people once they opt into the program. But we do already have him hired, which is fantastic. He's really helped us to
Nice.
develop that. So and he's got a lot of experience in mental health in this area, so he's been able to help our other programs by providing information and resources that we weren't aware of. So it's
Yeah.
good. And then we have our office assistant, since I'm giving shout outs to everybody else.
Shout out to everyone.
Samantha is
How you
amazing.
doing?
She keeps our office running, and we'd be lost without her. so
That's awesome.
that's my staff.
Yeah, it's awesome because I've always heard of the drug court and I knew it was around, but I never didn't know anything. This is just mind blowing. I love it.
Well, I'm glad you have questions.
This is awesome.
Yeah, I think so.
Why are you giving me that
I love
look?
You've got more stories to tell.
To be continued, to be continued.
I went to school
Is this
with
mine?
you.
Can I drink?
Yes,
this?
of course, I'm
I'm
sorry.
thirsty. I
Yeah,
figured it's. I didn't want to assume that.
you do know more stories than anyone should know about me. But anyway, it's not about me.
All right.
Person to person.
Yeah.
Person to person.
Hey, you know, wherever it goes. That's it.
So what else are you involved in?
Well, I've been involved in theater in the past. Right now, I'm
Uh-huh.
not heavily involved in it. You know, kids are getting older, and it's hard for my wife and I are both do theater, and so it's hard to do things at the same time.
Sure.
But she's actually involved with Love Street Playhouse and in Woodland.
Dan Woodland.
And she's
Great place.
working with Melinda there. It's a great theater. She's directing "I Love Your Perfect Now Change." That's
Oh, wow.
opening this spring. Very soon. They're in rehearsals right now. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
I texted her before the show.
Find out the dates.
Let's see if
See if
she
she answered.
responded. April 20th through March 6th at Love Street Playhouse in Woodland. Tickets always sell very fast there, and
Really?
if you're not familiar with "I Love Your Perfect Now Change," it's a musical, and it's a great musical. It's not character based. It's the character is relationship, so it's vignettes from early relationship up until to late stages of relationships, and
Wow.
it's really, you know, you've got the first meeting, the first dating, the marriage, the wedding, the marriage with children, you know, the kids leaving the house up until to elderly age, and it really is it's funny, it's heartwarming. My wife was in it about 14 years ago, so that's why I'm
Well, that-
familiar with the show. I saw it probably 4 or 5 times when she was in it, and
Nice.
and it's, you know, now she's directing it, so kind of that coming around, and it's a fun show, and I would recommend that anybody go see it because you will have a great time. And my wife is a fantastic director.
Family
That she
oriented.
is.
Family
She
oriented.
is.
Family oriented.
Yeah.
Shout out to Bethany.
Hi, Bethany.
Hi, Bethany.
Don't know you, but hi.
She does amazing work.
Well, I might, it's open on the 20th, and 21st just happens to be my birthday. I might have to celebrate myself and head to Woodland.
Get online,
Yeah.
get tickets,
Yeah,
and let Love Street Playhouse, and go see it. Do yourself a favor.
that would be cool.
Yeah.
I'm
It's a
starting,
great way to celebrate.
I'm starting to get more going to the local theater stuff,
Uh-huh.
and I don't know why I waited so long, but it's just amazing.
It is.
It's
It
just,
is.
I mean, it's fun. I always feel good when I come out, and,
Have you seen shows at Love Street?
no.
Oh.
It's a really nice, intimate theater.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I've been there
It's a
because
former
I,
church.
well,
Yeah.
I used to be a firefighter, and we
Oh.
did inspections there. I was
Okay.
a volunteer firefighter
Oh,
for
okay.
10 years. So, I mean, I've been to the place, but I've never been to the place when there was a show.
Oh.
It is a cool theater.
It is. It's a
I think
nice little
nice
theater.
little,
It's a
kind
nice-
of a home
Yeah.
down, you know.
But tickets sell fast because there's only about 80 seats in
Yeah.
the show,
Oh,
so
yeah.
it's not a huge auditorium to be able to see people. But the awesome thing about that is it's really intimate. No matter where you're at, you're close to the stage.
And you're in it.
Yeah, and if you have failing eyesight like myself, you can still sit in the back row and see what's going on, see faces and expressions.
That's awesome.
And phenomenal talent,
Yeah,
local talent.
great
That's-
talent there. It really is. Yeah.
yes.
I know that because my wife is involved with them.
That part's true.
And Melinda's awesome.
Yeah, she was a guest on the show, and
Oh, okay.
I found it really interesting, her philosophy as far as connections.
Mm-hmm.
Just did a phenomenal job. I used to enjoy just reviewing her show.
Oh, that's right, you used to do that.
Because there was always a connection. She always made sure there was, whoever's on that stage realized they had an extension to whoever came in that door in the audience. And it was just
Wow.
incredible. She had a really good understanding of, almost Don Corellian.
Wow, oh, yeah.
Well, there's an idea for future shows. You guys should go watch a show, take notes, and then do a show with a review
Yes.
of the show.
And they still.
But you gotta go
Yeah.
the first weekend so you can tell people
He's using that.
Well, like
to
I
go see
said,
it.
I might-
Because if you
I
do a
might-
review after it's done, it's great to hear what you missed out on. But
Yeah.
give people an opportunity to go see it.
Anyone local that wants to go, female.
I know it. But yeah, they.
Hey, I'm not,
Dogs out.
I'm not a selfish self-plugger. I have no trouble plugging myself. Waiter, that sounds wrong.
Are you looking for
Sorry.
secondhand clothes?
Sorry. Welcome to my life.
Yeah.
Yeah, welcome to my
My
life.
nephew's wife
I'm sorry, it's just, there are so many barbs I would.
It's
give
one
you
of
right
those
now.
days, though. It's kind of one of those days. And I'm sorry I missed last week. I'm sorry.
He's not sorry.
No,
Where were you last week?
I was busy.
Go talk to Wendy.
Who? Wendy?
Wendy.
I don't know Wendy.
Why, you know Wendy too, Phil?
Yeah.
You wanna go there?
He knows all the.
No, I really don't. As soon as I walked in the door today, I got harassed.
They got it over there.
No, you got inspired.
No, I got harassed.
Oh, I can't believe that.
Oh, it was.
Yeah, they got it.
Yeah, oh yeah, they're yeah, the one's right there, the one I'm listening to.
Oh, the ladies in the back row would never harass you.
Yeah.
Adam, are you sensing any harassment here?
Oh, I
Not-
sense
not
nothing
now.
but love.
I'm
Love
innocent.
here.
Total love.
Oh,
I'm innocent.
you guys are
There's a
killing-
fine line between
I'm
love and
innocent,
harassment,
too.
though.
There is.
Phil's not innocent, but I am.
That's not harassment.
I'm not innocent.
You're just curious. Just curious.
Wandering minds want to know.
Your extra activity.
But you notice I don't talk about my private life on the show.
I talked about mine.
Because I've already talked about
Well, we
mine.
know you have three older brothers.
I do. I got 3 older brothers. I got a daughter.
That I didn't know. Now I know.
What else is up? We've
Yeah,
got about
what else
5
going on?
minutes left to go.
Oh, we have 5 minutes left
Yeah.
to go.
Yeah, we do.
What else would you like to throw out?
Oh, gee,
And if you wanna
guys
pick
are the
on
hosts,
him,
you're supposed to
yeah.
ask
Yeah, oh
questions.
yeah, absolutely. I'm
I
okay.
can
I'm
ask
okay
you
if you want to.
Yeah, ask me questions.
'Cause I'd have to go back to more theater, but what was your
That's
favorite
okay.
show you did?
That's a
Good
tough one.
question.
And how did you meet
It
your wife?
is. Okay.
And,
I can do those things. Favorite show, I have to go all the way back to high school and say Little Shop of Horrors. was
Oh,
my favorite show. I
nice.
was Seymour in that in 1993. Yeah,
All right, Mom? Dana Brown?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Dana
Dana-
Brown.
Dana Brown.
Great Dana
Amazing.
Brown. Yeah.
Amazing
He was
man.
amazing, man.
Amazing man.
Yeah, so I
And that's
was,
a cool
I was
thing.
lucky to be in that era that I was able to work with Dana Brown all through my high school years, and Little Shop of Horrors was a great experience. But I've done great shows since then. The Lion in Winter was a good show, and that may have been the last show that I've done. It was a couple of years ago. I've done Your Good Man, Charlie Brown, played Charlie Brown in that.
Oh, you played Charlie Brown?
Yeah, I think that was
Nice.
that may be the only show that my wife and I have actually performed in together. She was Lucy and I was Charlie
Oh,
Brown.
I mean, that was cool.
We met doing theater, my wife and I. I was doing a show called Anything Goes down in Vancouver at, if my memory serves me correct, the Blue Parrot Theater back in '95. And she was friends with somebody I was doing the show with, actually her younger cousin. And she came to help out sell cookies. That's when I first met her. We didn't become friends at that time, but then I was doing a show for Cascade Players called Eat Your Heart Out, and she was working backstage there, and we got to know each other a little bit more, found out that we have the same birthday.
The same birthday.
Yeah.
Wow.
February 5th, if anyone wants to send gifts, February 5th. It's both
Take
Bethany's
care
and my
of,
birthday.
feet on the street.
So yeah, we found out that, but we just became friends, and our friendship kind of grew. She went to college in California. I went to college up in Bellingham.
Western
and,
County.
Yeah, Western.
Nice.
And we always just kind of kept in touch. And when I moved back, she came back for the summer, and we hung out a lot. And we just kind of started dating then. And she had to go back and finish a quarter at school, but she came back.
So how long you been married?
We've been married 13 and a half
See, this
years.
is something you need to have.
13,
right
well, I'm figuring where in the year am I? Am I close enough to say almost 14 years? It's like right in the middle, 13 and a half
Okay.
years.
Right
That's
on.
how long we've been
Very
married.
cool.
So,
Very cool.
so yeah, it is cool. It's great. It's fun. We share a lot in common with theater. And
Sure.
So it's a good time.
Do you find yourself, if you're watching, like say, a movie, do you find yourself as like, are you either a reviewer or a critic?
I'm not a reviewer or critic. I love movies, and I'm pretty.
Well, do you sign like, oh man, it would have been really cool if they did this?
Sometimes.
I mean,
I
just-
think anyone does, but I'm not really hard on movies.
Yeah.
I go to movies a lot. I have friends that I go to movies with that are much harder on them than I am. I'm just like, I'll just eat
It's
the popcorn
entertainment.
and watch the movie. I
Right, it's
enjoy it.
entertainment.
Love kind of the big blockbuster type movies. Thor Ragnarok, I just got that the other day, and I really enjoy watching that.
Nice.
But you know, I like Marvel movies, nerdy stuff. That's the kind of stuff that I like. And
Done.
I wouldn't call that Marvel's nerdy.
really,
No,
well, it's becoming more mainstream. Then that's great.
I mean,
I'm not really a comic book guy, although there's some that I read, but it's
Yeah,
primarily
right.
movies and things like that. And I really enjoy
She's been there
kind of those
for-
big movies, but I also like the smaller movies. But no, I don't. I don't
Right up the very
critique
end.
them much. There have been movies, well, the new Star Wars movie, when I first saw that, I was not happy with it. And I thought a lot about how I could improve it, but then I made myself go back to it because I love Star Wars. And I really enjoyed it the second time. A lot of the flaws that I thought were there,
I would guess about 8 years.
I just didn't catch what they were doing. So
Right.
if
so
you
much
didn't
going on.
like The Last Jedi, I recommend you watching it again with those things that you didn't like in mind and see how they did address those. I'm not saying it was perfect, but I enjoyed it a lot more the second time. So
Nice.
things like that. But no, I'm not really, unless a movie really sucks. I'm not,
Well, I mean,
I'm not
say
much
that.
much of a critic
Okay.
on them.
Just curious. Well, I know I'm a sports guy.
Yeah.
And I'll watch sports and I go, well, you should have done this.
Yeah.
You know.
Hindsight's
That's it.
2020.
That's the referee. Refereeing.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah. It was weird when my brother, when he was with us, he was coach for our lawn for 10 years.
Uh-huh.
And Rick St. Jean, he was
I
probably
don't-
coaching. Anyway.
Back in the early 90s. when I
Yeah.
was a-
And then I was a referee. So when we watch a game together, we watch it differently.
Okay.
You know, he watches as coach and I watch it as a referee.
Right.
Yeah.
You know,
And then we talk about it, which is really cool.
I don't really do that with movies, but
Yeah.
plays, I might be more prone to be a little bit more critical if I watch a play
Okay.
than I do a movie because I can relate to that more, to being on stage. But yeah, I don't find myself doing it much with movies.
Well, I find myself getting more involved going to the local theaters and stuff, and it's just, like I said, I don't know why I waited as long as I did,
Yeah.
but it's a great entertainment.
Yeah.
I mean, just great entertainment. So
There's
I
good stuff.
highly recommend it.
Yeah, and it's on all levels. Community theater, I highly recommend community theater. It's what keeps it going in our communities.
Sure.
It's tough to run a community theater because the expense is more than what you take in. Doing a show 4 or 5 times a year does not bring enough to pay the bills for the entire year.
Right.
So the people that are working at a theater are putting a lot of heart and energy in it and trying to bring in the funds to support that theater. So
Uh-huh.
go support them. If you like theater, go support them. See shows that you may not even have been interested in. You never know. You'll like it. But on all spans, theater on all spans, from community theater all the way up to professional, it's amazing to watch a show and see.
Watch it
I mean,
live.
you're watching a movie, you know that they took that take 10 times before they got the one that they put in there.
Sure.
They had all of these options to piece it together however
Sure.
they want. A play, everyone has to be on spot, and that's one of the amazing things about watching any show, is that everyone's got to be on the ball,
Right.
or it can crumble like dominoes.
Right.
You know, everyone's got to know their lines. You got to trust the people that you're working with, the people that are running the lights, the sound. All of that is happening from people doing things at the same time or in sequence that they need to be
To
doing
make it, I mean, all the
Yeah.
different things to make it one
Uh-huh.
good show.
And I've seen shows where a lighting cue was missed or the lights went off in the middle of the set, and
Happens.
it's anxiety to me, but
Sure.
it's because I feel bad for what happened, not
Right.
because I'm like, oh, they messed up. You know,
Right.
I feel bad that happened because a lot of work goes in to give you a final product and have it look like the way it does. So it's amazing to go to more local community theater and then go see something that's kind of touring. I've never been to Broadway, but touring Broadway at the
Right.
Keller Auditorium and just see this range of what you can do in the theater.
My last show at Keller was Wicked.
I love
Oh,
it.
That was amazing.
Great
That
show.
was amazing.
My wife and I went to Sound of Music just last week.
Oh, man.
And I'm not a big fan of, I like Rodgers and Hammerstein music.
Right.
I'm not a big fan of their shows. I find them to be kind of long and drawn out. But I'd say Sound of Music is one of their best. It was the best production of Sound of Music that I've seen, including movie and anything. I enjoyed it a lot. And we're going to Hamilton next week.
Nice.
So I'm pretty excited to see Hamilton. I've heard great things, but
I've heard, yeah.
We'll need to be wrapping up.
Yep.
We're over time.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Overtime. No,
Sorry.
we
People
talked.
got to get to dinner. There's things to do, right? Out there.
Ask him.
He has appointments.
Yeah.
I'm a little busy today, yeah.
And I got to get home. My wife has to go to rehearsal tonight, so
Shout out.
she's good.
Bam!
It starts at 7. It starts at 7. We're okay.
Shout out is good. Shout out. What happened, Ray, then? Well, these are our shout outs that people respond to us on, I just drew a blank. YouTube.
You're gonna have to. Someone's gonna have to correct me.
Give it a shot.
Rachel Escondido Cafe.
Hi, Rachel. We went to school with Rachel.
Oh, okay. Did I say it anywhere close to right?
How bad?
Okay, great. Danny German.
Yeah. Hey,
Okay. Shout out.
shout out.
MB Fountain.
MB, love you.
All right. Bonnie
Vancouver,
Vancouver, Bonnie,
Washington.
No, there's a name in there.
I'm sure there's only one Bonnie in Vancouver.
Okay, great, good. Bonnie.
To all Bonnies,
It
welcome.
got written over, so it's
We
hard
love
to read.
Bonnies.
Jefferson? No, I'm not sure. Okay.
Okay.
Stephanie,
Hi.
Longview, Washington.
Hi, Stephanie.
Linda Gibson Smith, Victoria, Canada.
Hi, Linda. Hey.
Susan Williams, England.
Very nice.
England.
Yeah, pretty cool, huh?
Yeah, that's awesome.
Ooh,
I'd love to go to England
We're
someday.
worldwide, baby.
Well, if I had known it was
We're
England, I
worldwide.
could have done an accent to make Victoria
Next time.
feel more at home.
Next time.
Or Linda. Linda's from Canada, and then Susan. Susan is from England. It was the Victoria Canada. So Susan.
Hi, Susan.
Thank you for watching our show.
Yes, thank you very much.
Vitalis.
Yeah, Vitalis.
Okay.
Kenya.
Kenya.
Kenya?
Yeah. We're worldwide, baby.
Wow,
We're big time.
We are.
Yeah.
Robin Davis in Idaho.
Hi, Robin.
Idaho.
Davis, a great family.
Connie
Oh, goodness.
Chitwood?
Uh-huh.
Yes, yes.
Sneed.
Yep.
In
Hi,
Waymark,
Connie.
Washington, right in our stomping grounds.
That's right.
Lorraine Foster Worth in Vader.
Howdy.
Great. Candy Kane? Seattle, Washington? Yeah.
I know, Candy. Hi, Candy.
Hi, Candy.
Used to dance with you. Great time.
Really?
Bards.
Oh,
Excuse me?
Bards.
We're not going
No.
into that.
That was a while
Meat
ago.
market.
I'm old.
No, I worked at the movie theater right next door to Bart's for 5 years.
I went in there once.
You don't admit that in dessert.
Anyway.
The old
Debbie Fall Hatter in Vancouver.
Hey, Debbie.
Elisa Lauren, Kelso, Washington.
Lisa, how you doing?
Oh, there's more names here.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, now there's one on the
Right.
phone. Steve Lloyd, Vancouver, Washington.
You know, there used to be a Steve Lloyd on KGW.
We were just talking
Maybe
about
it's the same person.
I wonder if it is.
That's him. We hear from the back. That's him.
Is it Steve Lloyd, the radio guy?
I just heard in my ear.
Steve.
That's him.
Very cool.
Doug Knapp
Hey,
in Monroe,
Doug. Hello,
Washington.
Doug.
Cheryl Ernest Hatton in Longview.
Hey, Cheryl.
Hey, Cheryl.
I'm sorry if I'm butchering names. I'm sorry.
Hence the reason we give it to
I mean,
her.
it's handwritten.
Hence the
and-
reason we give it to her. Yeah, it would be
I
nice
mean, we
to
could
have
type
that.
these out, and maybe that would help, maybe phonetically.
We're old school.
No, old school pen
Yeah.
and paper. Don Barkham, Grand Forks, North Dakota.
Nice.
North
Hey.
Dakota, great. Rick Wright, Columbia, South Carolina.
Hey, Rick.
Good down in the south there. Carol Weir, Bremerton, Washington.
Hi, Carol.
And Connie Disher in Cleveland, Georgia.
Hey.
Wow.
Thank you all.
Thank you all for watching. Seriously,
Yeah.
we joke around a lot, but without you guys watching, we probably wouldn't be here. So we really appreciate it. If you got questions or comments, feel free to put it on our page, and I'll answer all questions. I'm not shy.
Really? Because I
Absolutely.
asked you where you were last week and you wouldn't answer that.
Wow! Wow!
And what about the week before? Wait.
Everyone wants to know, inquiring minds.
Wow.
The week before, when I was late, I was
Oh.
visiting a lady friend, and I kind of ran out of time.
So, subscribe to our newsletter. You're going to get all of the gossip of Dr. Phil here.
Wow.
I hate Dr. Phil.
You're the doctor.
Oh, no. I won't be something else.
Okay.
Oh, no, we'll figure it out. But anyway, seriously, we love comments, questions. We just thank you. Thank you for your show. Thank you for watching. Thank you, Ray. Thank you, our technical people in the back. Come on up.
Larry Waggle next week.
Have a
Larry-
good night, everyone.
Larry Wagle next
And-
week.
And you know, info concerning Phil will be on the National Enquirer of Longview, Washington.
Wow.
Have a good night, everyone.
Bye.
The life of
Next
Phil.
week.
Hi.
The life of Phil. Good job, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, good
you're
job.
welcome. Thank
That
you.
was
Thanks
really
for having
good.
me.
Okay.